Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new series of Crusader Kings 2 here on the Lord Master channel. And yes, it's still relatively new, so I just said brand new quite by accident. Anyways, this is the fourth episode of the Gupta series, as we had spent the last three episodes covering the life of the last Gupta, Ramagupta, who has recently attained enlightenment. We're talking about him here, Ramagupta the Wise. That's the reason why he is called that. Because he became a paragon of enlightenment. Which, in fact, he is the very first individual of this playthrough to make it so. Which is, amazing in itself. So yes, Ramagupta, who once ruled the entirety of the Raj of Tirabhukti, he decided to retire from politics to, renounce the world, to become a Sanyasi. He's chosen life simplicity and celibacy, thus making him unable to marry or inherit. So he's a monk now. But now he currently resides in the Thikana of Kumara Mandala, which is over here in modern day Bangladesh. Serving under this man. But knowing Rajaganesha, yes, this is Rajaganesha, the son of Ramagupta, which he named him after his patron deity, Ganesha, or Ganapati. So, for him, he's only 18 years old. He's got a bright future ahead of him, one would think. But, however, he was probably, he had his, his wayward father and all. But still, he likes me, even though he's a title claimant, as we are both virtuous, as he has taught me well. I have the same dynasty. But I can't help but feel that he should be the rightful heir. I mean, my grandfather, Jivitagupta, the last Maharaja of Bihar, before all the chaos that took place, that happened in the Magadh region, where my father was born. And now he's never going to return to Magadh, and never take the old Gupta throne. Which now that claimant lives through me. But to me, he's the rightful heir. I don't care if he wants to live a life of retirement. He must return to court. I mean, his knowledge is without equal. And plus, he's got plenty of more years in him. To me, he's living a healthy lifestyle as an archaya of the Advaita Matha, which I don't aspire to join that society to follow my father's path. But he needs to come back. I honestly think that he needs to come back. But now, in the situation, we know that Rajaganesha, he's tall, he's attractive, but however he is dour, which he is austere by nature and boring by grace, a fitting stance for matters of responsibility. He's also charitable, but wary, and he's cynical, ambitious, and humble. But keep in mind, despite the fact that his father was a religious man, but Rajaganesha is he's not much of a believer, but he gets an idea. He respects his father, no doubt, but I believe the cynicism came from his mother, Leelavati of the Kalinga Ganda dynasty. When Ramagupta divorced her, she returned to Kalinga, and then she became imprisoned, which is due to a war, which they're attacking Kalinga Ganga to make them a tributary, which he'll get that achieved. His aim is complete. And there's nothing I can do about that regarding my mother. But I am still determined to get my father back by any means. He should be the rightful heir to Bihar. And what is my purpose? Well, as a man with a martial education, and I'm trying to improve my diplomacy because I have realized that my father did very good in his realm of diplomacy, and I kind of want to follow him in the same way. I want to be as great as a warrior, as great as a diplomat. To do that, I should do diplomacy-related focus, like carousing, and improve upon it, then become a socializer. But as for my liege, Maharaja Gopala II, who is 5 years old currently, I don't particularly like him, but I believe he's far more important if he were to be kept alive, knowing that if he dies, the realm would be partitioned. But interestingly, if he dies, I've become the heir to Bihar. But to me, it should be him, and then me. That's how it works. That's just how I feel personally. I mean, I don't think I'm ready for an administrative life. If I want to become the Maharaj, I must be, to prove my worth. Now, first things first. I should begin my weapon training. I can develop my combat rating by training personal combat. While I don't know my true potential, at the very least I'll manage to understand the rudiments of combat, giving me a fighting chance on those moments where the blade of my trusty sword is all that separates me between life and death. So I'll spend 50 gold. I have decided to invest a significant portion of my time to hone my combat skills. My training could be approached from 2 different angles, though. A man by the name of Chandra Sen. Good martial, good combat skill. He's a duelist. He has a situational awareness. This character has the capability to be aware of the tactical challenges around him, prioritizing correctly the most threatening ones. And he also has lightning reflexes. This character can react in an instant, drawing his sword as fast as a flash of lightning. So basically he could draw his sword and immediately kill the enemy. That fast. Guess Bengali people are tough. Even sometimes Bengali women serve in one's army. But he does appreciate for the ambitious opinion. One would think that, right? I will take my time and measure my effort. Also, at that same time, I'll be spending another 50 gold for another thing. Organize a smuggler operation. I'll decide to go ahead with the attempt to set up a smuggler's ring with the help of my spy master. My success is not guaranteed, however. This will be depend on my intrigue education, which I don't have one. I'm not deceitful, not greedy, not brave. But me being charitable could hurt it, but my spy master's helping me. His stewardship also plays a role. So I need a very good spy master with very good stewardship. And that man is not you, Krishna Roy. It'll be... ooh. The possessed one. He's got great intrigue, but... give it a chance. For Sukhdev. Now as for the steward... oh yes, this ascetic that just arrived here at court today, the same day as my father left. Which I feel he should come back to court. He should not be living in peaceful exile, one would feel. So I'm going to make you the steward. And as for the marshal, it'll be Kamashwa. And you'll be the one to train the troops here in Mithila to increase the levy size and faster reinforcement rate. So this will take some time to get it together. Oh, and one more thing. I shall choose my patron deity. And I know what it's going to be. It's going to be the all-powerful crowned Vishnu. It lowers my martial a bit, but It helps on my diplomacy just to even it out, as I will take up moderate training, which I will train with caution and avoid placing my body under severe strain. The results of the training will take longer on average and I'll be less prone to injury. The older I am, the higher the chances for injury. Do not worry about me. I'll do fine. And as I said, the Advaita Mata is not for me. Instead, I will join the wheel of life and death. Various people believe in some form of rebirth. While their goals is usually to put an end to it, there are others who much prefer this mortal plane, where they can perpetually improve themselves in mind and body. These fighters are well known for their combat abilities and knowledge of war. They are relied upon by lords for various tasks. There are rumors that some members have spent several lives in the organization. So join. Well met, Rajaganesha. You have the highest honor to receive a letter from me, Larang, champion of the Wheel of Life and Death, the greatest warrior this world has ever known. I have no doubt that you wish to bask in my glory in person, so I hereby allow you to join us as we clash steel and bleed together. Good luck, and may your blade never dull. For glory, then. Let's see now. Oh yes, the commanders. Time to appoint them all. Chandra Narayan, Chandra Sen, him, and crazy old Sukhdev. And the designated regent? Well, it should be my steward. Never thought it would be the Brahmin. And I plan on bringing my father back, so I'm leaving this chancellor's seat open for him. So, there you have it. I have spoken. No need to compose a book. I don't need to hold Diwali. Is there anybody in the bounty board? Actually, there is one. Bounty hunting is challenging work, and I guarantee you'll not go hungry. Because at the end of the day, as long as there's 2 people left on the planet, someone's gonna want someone dead. Bhikshuni Suvrata of Samarapura Mahipura. Oh yes, serves under him. But what's the reason? You rivals? Or do you really dislike... Ah, okay then. You just don't like her because she's club-footed and a hunchback. Different kind of Buddhist. And also she's cruel. Which she is trying to reject cruelty. Well, she's not going to have that chance because there's a bounty on her head. And you know, I spent all that money to get weapon training and to organize a smuggling operation. Maybe this is a way to make some of that money back. Yeah. We should make that money back. Alright, let's have a look. I didn't see her personal combat skill. I know mine is 15. Hers is minus 10. Because she's club-footed, she's charitable, and slothful. Well, looks like the advantage will be me, but it will not be easy. Because I am just a warrior in training. Just now. It's like Chandra Sen is like, alright, you ready to teach? And I said, yeah, I'll meet you later this afternoon. And then I'd look at the bounty board and I'm like, hey, I could make all that money back. and otherwise Chandra Sen will be like, wait, Rajaganesha, it's too dangerous. I'll hunt it down. Bhikshuni has it ran away and stand before me. This woman is brave indeed to accept my challenge despite her obvious doom. She'll be a good sport and pay me nicely. She must be crazy. The enemy's in front of me. They look at me directly and getting ready to receive my attack. I'll attempt to feint again. My very first day of combat, and it's a duel. I hit her. Bruised her non-bounty hand. She does not take any chances, and to aim to land an easy attack. More likely to hit the head and torso. Dodge. Ooh, she stunned me, but missed follow-up. She hit me in the torso. Okay, then. This may be a bad idea, but flare wildly. She avoided the attack, but she missed the follow-up. She's taking a defensive stance. She's protecting herself from being critically hit, but easier to hit with a normal attack. Well, let's swing the weapon. She tried to counter-attack, but failed miserably. My attack stunned her and gave me time to attack once more. Do it quick and simple. Got her twice. Bruised her legs, bruised her torso. She's taking a defensive, protecting from being critical. Easier hit with a normal. Hit her in the center. Got her. Bruised her head. It's gonna keep stacking up, you know. Until she gets wounded. She was slowly swinging her weapon at me before suddenly changed its trajectory. More than likely hit the torso and legs. Dodge. She missed. Okay. Swing it. Got her. I hit her in the torso again. She's coming at me, making the next attack more likely to be a critical hit. You see, that's where you're wrong. Oh, I missed that one. She does a safe, timid attack in my direction. It's more likely to hit the arms. Dodge. Oh. Oh. Bruised my torso, bruised my non-dominant hand, and bruised my head. Because she stunned me and hit me again. I told you I should have taken up training. I'm beginning to regret that now. Flail wildly then. Another hit. Bruised her legs again. Shame standed swiftly by targeting my head. I gotta protect my head. Stunned me again. She hit me in the head. And my hands are hurting. Hurting for certain. But remember, it's heavily bruised. Risk being wounded. Try to hit her in the center. No way I can miss that. Got her. What's it gotta take? Dodge. Missed. Go for the center. Stunned and stroked. Alright, she's wounded. Broke her finger. Cracked her ribs. Now her personal combat skill is much lower than I, so now it's getting a lot easier, but be careful. She could wound me. Or potentially kill me. Outright. Lunge attack. Dodge. Keep hitting the center. Pick a body part and work on it. Victory is mine. My foe is yielded and begged for me to spare her dear life like a coward she is. Unfortunately, that means my bounty would still live, and it is not glorious. But it's still more money than what her head would have paid. I need that 100 gold. I gotta make all that money back. Oh, and also, by the way, develop personal combat skills, because I have no education in the art of personal combat and want to change that through combat experience. I'm about to become a novice fighter, so select that. Die well, Silverata. That ambition will be complete. She gave me a good beating. Won't fully recover until March 31st. Now, we can go carousing. So, who wants to be invited to the feast? Invitations are open for all of you. Because one thing. Start a faction. Ramagupta for Bihar. I don't want Bihar. I want my father to rule Bihar. And to do that we need more manpower, and we shall develop that here until we are fully ready. And to try to form a few alliances together. Which will be hard. But we'll hope it'll be worth it. So fulfill the ambition to develop personal combat skills, as I'll be preparing a small feast. So, he's already a novice fighter. The character understands the basics of combat, but is sloppy, overconfident, and inexperienced. Yeah, I shouldn't have rushed in like that. Chandrasen was right. He said, it's too dangerous. And I will soon have proper training. And hopefully I'll become a trained fighter so I could be ready and serve as a soldier in the Pala army possibly. May never know. Yes. To the giant guarded. I'm not that big. I'm just tall. I'm not a giant. Maybe to you. You want me to be the marshal? Here we go. That'll up your martial skill a bit. Bingo. But you must continue your training, as I have a meager education in the art of personal combat, and I want to change that through combat experience. What's that other ambition? Make a friend. Gain 1 diplomacy. Become popular. And I'm, about to hold a private feast where you could potentially make friends. So, actually do that first. Combat skill a little later, okay? Oh, one moment. Just to have a slightly longer hair. For reasons. Right. Okay, he ain't coming. Neither does he. Neither does he. And neither does he. It's unfortunate. But... hey, you like to drink? Never thought, I mean, I just wanted to befriend those guys for possible, friendship. Will you come? I mean, there's free food and drink for you. Especially the drinks. Neither does you. Okay. Then what about anyone in my council? Well, especially you. You're the one that likes me the most. And maybe we can get Sukdev on our side, so he doesn't, do something rather harsh. Here's another stupid thing I'm about to do. Get a loan. And what is that loan for? Get my father back. He's a commander of the Kamar Mandala. That's insane. You shouldn't be as a commander there. Should a war break out there. I will approach Ramagupta in order to politely invite him to come to my court to serve me, use his best skill to further our common cause. I know that I'll need to pay the travel expenses at the very least. Or what is a paltry sum given the services that I can assure? I need to decide what more to offer. Money, prestige, power. Unfortunately, he's too virtuous for power, but offering him the estates... but I'll try the gold first. Need to pick the sum to want to offer him invite to up top 15 gold needed to payment for the voyage. Given a max 200. In addition, send him the gift, some of that money back to him that he gave me. And also I should have get a smith. A weaponsmith to forge me a deadly weapon. I need my own personal weapon. Knowing that what I'm training for. Really? Really? Come on, guys. What is the matter with you? What wrong, what crime have I done to any of you? Well, at least maybe sister could come. And if father comes here, I'll invite him too. Alright, Jai Krishna Roy is coming, even though he's quite aged. Sister's not coming. But the marshal will. Okay. Not all hope is lost. Should start swaying him. Based on the amount of levies, I would much prefer to have him on our side. Unfortunately, they already have other ideas. Massive recruitment drive already. Faster levy reinforcement. It was with great honor that I received your invitation, but I must confess, due to personal matters, I will not join your court, even though I feel flattered by your invitation. You will regret this. It means I can't invite you again until this coming November. This November, Father, I will bring you here, one way or another. So he's not going to be the Chancellor then. I'm going to move you to Chancellor, because you're good at this sort of thing. Improve relations with the giant. After months of planning the whole operation and contacting shady individuals, my master informed me that we were unable to properly set up the operation. Meanwhile, the seed money went up in smoke. I am not happy with Sukhdev. So much losing of that prestige. But I'll try to at least make a friend. And I'll pay that loan back whenever I need to. If I can't get you into court, Father, I am going to make you Maharaja. No matter what. Anyways, let's begin the private feast. My Marshal Kameshwar has told me about a remarkable weaponsmith residing in where the hell is that? He suggested that I invite the man in my court to see his work for myself. If it manages to impress me, I ordered my own custom-made item. Fine idea. Oh! Pop the neck. Those days of early are an excellent escape. So many laughs and so many intense conversations in such a short time. It brings me closer to my companions. I feel like good friends already. You're my best friend. There you go. You made a friend. That'll up your diplomacy skill a little. Now, focus on your training. Once the weaponsmith's craftsmanship is unchecked by my most knowledgeable attempts to ensure the quality was sufficient, I receive him on the throne. He introduced himself as Master Ramapala, and gestured towards his numerous assistants, all who carried examples of work. Does my Raja have anything special in mind? You could never go wrong with a good scimitar. My father once told me about scimitars, that it's an elegant weapon for a civilized age. A scimitar, I see. Excellent choice, Maharaja, says Master Ramapala, and calls forward an assistant cradling several scimitars in his arms. I have a couple of examples here. One must determine what one needs and how much one is willing to pay, though they all serve your highness well. Craft me as something of high quality that I could bring with me to combat. Yes, I'm a carouser. And we'll do this again till October. And by November, I'm gonna give him another chance to invite him. Not by using gold, but give him power. Need to land him, maybe. But I can't guarantee everything. Krishna Roy, my friend, is insinuating politely that I can learn further on a wide array of subjects and be more efficient if I spent time with each day taking lessons about a classical period from him. However, if I place myself in a position of a student, that's not good for my prestige. On the other hand, an improvement of my knowledge is tempting. Well, I don't have the learning education. My learning skill isn't good enough. Oh, I'm willing to place the effort. Not gonna like that. It's gonna go poorly. I only understand the sword, not philosophy. If my father was here, he would teach me about philosophy. And I'll ask the Negranta. Try to improve relations. And maybe get him to a non-aggression pact. What is Tibet doing? A Jawa, right. I think these days have really helped me getting Polendaka to know me and appreciate better. We passed most of our time in my palace discussing the most separated topics. My palace was enriched by your visit. There you go. Let me send you another gift. And maybe we can have a non-aggression pact. I got a pretty good diplomacy stat, despite my current training. So I have improved for the last few times, as I am a popular man. So I could say it's just please take up your... What if I were to give you a concubine? Idea? Listen, I know you're an old man, you're an ascetic and whatnot, but here, have a woman for you. It'll get his opinion up a little. Even though he's a celibate, but still, having a little bit of company will do him good. And a favor, you say? You got it. You're supposed to get the opinion up, but characters who are my close relatives. Oh, okay. Never mind. So I wasted a bit of that gold for nothing. But, let's try to discuss non-aggression. Hopefully his opinion towards me will work. It's no secret. I'm in love with cinnamon. When I was younger, I didn't eat too much of it, but when I did, I enjoyed it greatly. Now that I'm on it, I could procure as much cinnamon as my treasury can handle. I like the swirls of spicy and sweet in every bite. Who can't see why I love the taste of cinnamon? I've become obsessed with cinnamon. There's nothing like cinnamon. This character loves cinnamon, anything made with cinnamon, especially cinnamon toasted sticky buns. At least we know this character's favorite food. A farmer was digging the countryside when he found small ruins from a bygone era. Though these ruins may be of interest to the antiquarians. Oh. Antiquarians? Is that how you pronounce that word? Not much was found, as looters already took most of the valuables over the centuries. Except that it is an ancient clay pot that still looks beautiful and exquisite despite its age. Clearly the work of a skilled craftsman. The farmer offered to me, his liege. Good, it'll make for a nice piece of decoration. Just take it. Exquisite ancient pottery. An ancient work of fine craftsmanship. A simple yet elegant pot found in an old ruin, now used as a decoration. Who knows when this was dated back to? But it adds up a little bit of learning. I know you're a faction member, right? No, you're not. Ask to join factions. Can join Rajkumar Ramagupta. Can join at least one of my factions. You can't. Why not? I mean, he can. Why can't you? Have you been told off? Traitor, no murder. Total revocation. He didn't discourage you from any factions, did you? No, it's not been forbidden. It's just you can't join for whatever reason. But then again, he's a zealous man, so he's kind of hard to please. I'll give him another 15. It's not the opinion. But I could repay him a favor, but it says creation of alliance is one of them. I don't know if that's even correct. Because we don't share the same government type. Well, that's the mess that his predecessors have created. Master Alpa's main assistant finally brought me the finished scimitar I've been waiting for. It is a beautiful and elegant scimitar, just like my father told me. And I'm excited to see it go beyond my original expectations. I'm sure she will serve me well. A silver-hilted scimitar. A well-crafted scimitar made at the behest of Rajaganesha of the Gupta Raj by Ramapala. Ups my martial a bit and ups a little bit of my personal combat skill. Now, wait 2 years, and actually roughly close to 2 years. Let me know the first thing. Well, the problem is that this is also in the way, which I may have to remove that. Make it not as important. So it'll be... Where? Oh, down here. Okay. I'm better from all the bruises. Remember, this coming October. I'm starting to think none of the Debbie might fancy me. The assassin? That drunken assassin? Clearly you've been drinking too much. Should I just say it's not appropriate just to reject her advances? But, you know, she's a drunkard. And if she were to have a child of her own, it would be bad, so... No, it's not appropriate. But don't kill me, please. You know, she could best me in a duel. Successful meeting. After sitting down with the delegation led by Nyagrata Pulindaka of Jharkhand, it was with relief that I found plenty of common ground with the other side. We were both eager to sign a non-aggression pact. Security above everything else. Long live to the Nyagrata. Doesn't have an established non-aggression pact in last year. Okay, we'll discuss next year. And you're looking to be enlightened yourself, or are you a member of the Sarata Sangha? No. or will continue to improve relations with you for the time being. October 17th. Remember the date. October 17th. And for my father, that'll be November 28th. I need him back. Serious. Need his guidance. He could teach me a few more things that I didn't know about. A taste of cinnamon. I have a feast coming up, and all my vassals will be there. And many other important nobles of the realm. We will celebrate life and have a good time. And I tend to do that by serving everybody as many savory and sweet cinnamon dishes as possible, including my favorite, cinnamon toasted sticky buns. Everyone will see I love the taste of cinnamon. Unfortunately, cinnamon is an expensive delicacy. The cost of this for otherwise mundane feasts will be a bit high, but I crave for those crazy spices. I just crave them. The feast will be cinnamon themed, no matter the cost. Oh, it's not that terrible. I can hardly wait. In the meanwhile, I'll eat some cinnamon toasty sticky buns. In spite of the time passed over my body of studying the classics, I find the subjects boring without interest. I've made no progress over the last months, and Christian always suggested we should stop. Slowly the word gets out of court about my failure to learn new subjects. It's not worth the effort. I didn't become slothful. Thank Vishnu. Cinnamon. Cinnamon everywhere. The food at the feast was delicious. Cinnamon oil to cook everything in. Cinnamon garlic flavored fish. Cinnamon sprinkled in soups. Cinnamon and meat pies and sweet pies. Cinnamon spread on bread and fruit. And my favorite, cinnamon and honey syrup slattered sticky buns. In fact, I can't remember what didn't have cinnamon at the feast. Apparently some of my guests appreciated my tastes, others didn't. However, I could see in their eyes, the way their eyes shifted around when they looked at their food, the way they slowly ate it. How sad that there are people who cannot appreciate cinnamon. Some of my courtiers seemed wary and concerned. They seriously think I'm overdoing things. Huh? Again, some would think, you are just a boy, you are just a kid. Calm down with your obsession with cinnamon. Three, two, one. Wish I could bring you here, Mother. It would be easy to invite you, but I prefer to get my father back because he's politically important to me. Wait one day. Okay, now you can invite. Does not have opinion declined invitation. Where's me? Search around. Ah, here I am. Declined invitation, so... Okay, next November. Be sure to invite you in next time. If anybody's willing. Cuckoo for cinnamon. Few of my courtiers told me that they were concerned about my eating habits. I eat cinnamon with everything, they claimed. But that, of course, is certainly not true. I definitely eat other things, I argued. They were insistent, however. They say eating too much cinnamon wasn't a good thing, despite whatever healing benefits it may have, and that I regret my irrational addiction. But the thing is, I really do eat other things. Do people think I'm insane just because I had a cinnamon-themed feast? Can't they see why I love the taste of cinnamon? Heck, even fed it to the prisoner, too. That appears to be the case, tragically. I'm feeling like some of the cinnamon toast sticky buns for breakfast tomorrow anyhow. Or the next few days or weeks. I'll have breakfast on a whole other level. Oh gods. What is this gonna lead to? I only accept one person. Midas fingers of cinnamon. Maybe wanting to taste the cinnamon in the morning wasn't a good idea. After eating some cinnamon toasted sticky buns, my favorite cinnamon food, my hands were so sticky I got cinnamon and honey syrup all over my fine robes, my face, and my chair. Everything I touch becomes a mess. However, I have an important meeting with my counselors right now and I don't want to be late. What can I do? I'll go to the meeting. I have no choice. Hopefully my counselors won't be too irritated with me. No, I'm not properly trained yet. Egads, what if I get this sticky syrup on my scimitar? My personal weapon. They're great, really. The meeting went alright, though my sticky cinnamon-covered fingers were a distraction. Thankfully, I managed to prevent the stinginess from spreading everywhere. My counselors, instead of being irritated at me, found my situation hilarious. They made fun of not only me, but worse, of the cinnamon itself. And now it appears that everyone in court is making fun of me. How could someone as high as myself be the laughingstock in the entire realm? Simply because I love to taste the cinnamon. My courtiers and vassals always plot and see everything I do, but they can see why I love the taste of cinnamon toast sticky buns. They have to understand. This world's of spicy and sweet cinnamon in every... But I still must try to convince someone that cinnamon is the greatest food ever. Calm down, farm boy. And the taste I can see. I tried to explain to my courtiers, I really did. Cinnamon is so wonderful, why would anyone not love it? Everything simply tastes better with it. Whether it's eggs, waffles, sausages, beans, sweet buns, milk, water, anything really. Even peasant gruel tastes like heavenly nectar if I add some cinnamon to it. But no one understands. I asked them why cinnamon was so great, and why I had to like it, but no one came up with the right answers, and I must resign myself to the fact that no one will know why I love the taste of cinnamon. Why I love the taste of cinnamon sauce and sticky buns especially. God, I'm trying not to laugh. It's because there's a swirl in every cinnamon delicious flavor in every bite. It's the taste I can only see. I might become gluttonous for this. I'm not temperate, though. I could become gluttonous, but for about a year, I will have ignored disapproval and mockery. But it ups my diplomacy a bit. Yep, what they say is true. I am gluttonous, after all. Because of the cinnamon. Father, if you don't come back here right now, I'm gonna need your help for your spiritual guidance. I mean, you're temperate. I might become fat because of food that I love. Please, Father, come back. I'm starting to regret this. A little. Just eat your sorrows away. You'll be fine. So that was the payoff. Just obsessed with them. Just kind of have to accept the fact. One day later. Okay, you can invite him again. Oh, God. So, again. Church despises gluttons, but what do the Brahmins say? Yeah, they don't like it. They're even aware of my obsession with cinnamon. They just don't get it, man. They just really don't get it. And I'm about to have a private feast, which I'll add some cinnamon to it for my guest of honor. I'm gonna invite you back over here. I'm gonna offer you some of my prestige. Which I'm not sure about this one, because my diplomacy stat is good. But deity, his traits, he's none of these. He's not even my friend, but the opinion of liege versus the opinion of me. Plus he's charitable and slothful. No, he's just charitable. An already counselor, so I'm offering him some of my prestige because it's been on decline as of late. Not bad, we've been peasant revolt. If you want me to be commander, I'll be willing to put into service. What say you, father? Will you come or not? No, leave that alone. To my future liege, Rajaganesha, it is with great honor that I receive your invitation. I'm pleased to inform you that I'm ready to, that I stand ready to move to your courts. Looking forward to serving the best of my capabilities for my success and your most august glory. I'm good. He's come. I had to spend a little bit of money for travel expenses, and I spent some of my prestige. Yes, I had to put my own reputation on the line just to get my father back. 70 years old. You don't look too bad over 70, father. This is why I brought you here in the first place. Two things. You have unmatched diplomacy skill, which you've gotten over your political defeat in the debate. And of course, I will never make you a commander, because those people who made you commanders are reckless. Reckless, I tell you. Need to improve relations with the Jay and the Grata, which we plan on improving a lot. The relations so much that we'll try to have a alliance, a negotiated alliance between us, so we can have each other's back. Plus, he's one of the commanders, even though soon the frailty of old age will get to him, but he's very capable. While the next one will be just as capable. And another reason why I'm here for you. Here's another reason why I want you here, Father. I need you to give me spiritual guidance. You can do that. Help me remove my gluttony because of my obsession with cinnamon. Oh, and by the way, Father, would you like to have some cinnamon? Now that you're back? Now that you're here? Because it's almost ready for this small feast. I mean, it's coming up this February. So search for a tutor to court. What field should their skills lie? War. Chandranarayan to be the tutor. Well, he's my treasury guard. Let's see what he can do. Because I want you to tutor me. Or alternatively, this one's Doctor of Law, but value's much better. Also, Father, now that you're back here, I'm also going to make you the court poet, since you have a good knowledge on these sort of things. I sometimes wish you were a philosophical tutor, because of your extremely high learning skill, and for a former ruler. I am not sure about him. but there's no one like it. In fact, to the surprise, I can even make you the designated regent. And now that you're here, Father, when that time comes, claim Bihar. Press your claim. And he will gain the Tikana of Mugadgiri. That's over here, not Magad, oddly enough. But it'll understand. One day, it'll occur. But he's training his troops, and so am I. By the way, anybody on the bounty board? No. I can request military training now, since I've just reached 100, despite my gluttony. Which again, my goal is to be a carouser, then more so than I'll become a socializer, so I can be very good at diplomatic negotiations before I will turn my focus towards war. I'm in no rush of getting married. My only aim is to put you back in the old throne. But I need friends. Okay, I understand, Father. Don't want the taste of cinnamon. It's become my favorite food, did you know? And I know I've been eating a bit a lot, but I'm not fat yet. But I hope you can teach spiritual guidance for me. So you have to, help me to stop this nonsense. Anyways, private feast is about to begin. So I understand you're not here for all the nonsense. You're just here to go to work at the job you do best. Used to have a theology focus too. My steward is also my best friend. My training is paying off and I mastered a new level of combat skill. With enthusiasm I look forward to what comes next. Remarkable. I have improved physical endurance. This is permanent. First stages of combat apprenticeship. Told you how to take moderate training. I don't want to rush into things. It's in the works. So I'm a dedicated carouser. Do one more private feast, and then I will become a socializer. Don't want to become a duelist. And we'll start the next feast. Actually, it's carousing still. Just hang on. Recent carousing till October 3rd. And I'll invite you. Now you got all that money, you should pay off that loan now. You've got your father back, so here you go. Why are you still here? And you still have that book. You know what? Give me that. Now that man's my rival. Let me see. The Dream of Vasavadam is a Sanskrit play written by the ancient Indian poet Vasa. The main theme of the drama is the sorrow of Udayana for his queen, whose death was actually a false rumor spread by a minister to force a different marriage. I am not familiar with Vasa's works. I know Kalidasa and a few others, especially the Tamil Sangam stories down there. So, just because it says 0 diplomacy, in actuality it's 0.5. If you get another diplomacy book, then that's actually +1 diplomacy added to this skill. Yes, we have a non-aggression. But we're looking to form an alliance last year with this character. Good work, Father. A well-dressed merchant has requested an audience. The man presents himself as Master Ben Ari, a representative of the Jewish Radhanite merchants, and implores, "We are seeking to set up an office in Mithila, but lack the funds. If you would sponsor us, we would be eternally grateful." Give him the whole city so he'll be loyal, and subsequently increase the city tax and trade value. Versus you. You might make an excellent steward. A shoddy office will not do. You shall govern this city. Serve me directly. That vassal wasn't good for nothing anyhow, so I found a much talented steward. A Jewish counselor, in fact. Better start making good income again. As I said, now that Father is here, the main purpose is... Oh, speaking of Father, after spending some time talking to Rajkumar Ramagupta, yes, we call him Rajkumar now, I have realized the error of my ways and freed myself of my sinful ways. No longer gluttonous. He's given me spiritual guidance. Thank you. Thank you, Father. I'll just try to eat moderately on my favorite food, you know, the cinnamon. But I'll continue my training, as always. You should start saving up that money for your armor, to call the armor smith. Thrift. Novice fighter. Who's his guardian? So I see. But do remember, you still owe that man a favor. If he likes me well enough. If my father can improve relations with the Negrata one more time, then try to improve relations, form an alliance with them, and use the favor to form an alliance with them. And then we can use that to figure out how to get these guys out of their factions. Get them out of the factions. And then, maybe they'll join us. That's the Beku there. Oh, so he's become a Jain. That's what happened. Instead of a Buddhist, he's a rampant sinner and walks naked. Oh, I see. It's an event where a Jain came to visit this region. I assume from over there. He went over there. He says, "Hey, how'd you like to become a Jain ascetic?" Dingabar Jain. Even though around here is Svetambar, so it must have been from a faraway land. And he's been a rampant sinner for whatever. Actually, he was the former. Well, again, he was formerly a Bhikkhu. Former member of the Shravaka Sangha, Buddhist version. And now he's become a Jain, and now he walks around naked. Because that's what Dingambara Jains do. We got the Ramayana. So he's gone to Gaya. What's strange? Apparently there's a disease ongoing. Camp fever. Started in Lahore last year. Spreading down there towards Ganga. It might come towards here. If it does reach Mithila, we have to shut the gates, unfortunately, thus delaying our progress. Even the feast, the private feast that's needed, he passed away. He's been assassinated. Govinda Chandra. He's a military man at heart. Now that man I want to improve relations, so that means we lost our non-aggression pact with them. Damn! Who would want to get rid of a brilliant man like him? Is it because he was a foreigner? Well, he's younger. For the past 2 years. We'll give it a try for this man. Hunter Glory. There's one. Marabah, Bengali. Well, my combat skills has improved significantly since the last time, and this is the way to, get it approved. Which again, I have improved my physical endurance, so I'm much better. And plus, some of that reward money could be used for, well, not only the armorsmith, but also non-aggression with them, and a few others too. Vajramitra, you're next. That's what you got? Would love to have that for myself, but he's malnourished. Uridine slothful, so this should be an easy fight. He wildly flails his weapon while running in my direction. Dodge! Target the center. Okay, dodge this one. Hit the center again. He swings his weapon. Dodge. Swing it. Hit him. Dodge again. All too easy. Die well. And I'm well on my way to improve my combats because I'm not a trained fighter yet. So I have what it takes. Got your reward money, so I already sent him a gift. Whoa, stop. I forgot. Would you like to come to carousing, please? Before that disease may get here? How about you too? In fact, anybody. Good. Hopefully we become best friends. So it'll be easier to have a non-aggression than an alliance. Because you see, we're trying to form our own alliance to restore the Gupta Kingdom. That's our aim. Levy's near full, but can be improved elsewhere. Because our strength, well, it's not strong enough to take him on, but just needs Don't worry, I'll switch to war focus once I become a socializer. But that'll be for next year. Ah, here we go. I'm gonna need a new set of armor. Find me the finest armor smith around. So that way I am prepared for war. One would think. Let me share the best trick to improve yourself as a fighter. Field experience. Gather some of your men and lead them onto the battlefield to a certain death and glory. Fight well. That day will come. It's rather surprising that they never offered me a position of commander. I mean, I have the martial skill. I have the combat skill. I'm willing. You're doing well. Now, try to improve relations with the Beku. Just cracking my knuckles. It's a wonder how some of the wealth is going to the cinnamon. But hey, as long as it keeps me healthy and alive. Hey, since you're new around here, how'd you like to have some cinema? Cinnamon? Yeah, cinnamon. Important proposal. I was approached by the Beku Soronarian of the Kahogun, suggesting me that I would owe him a favor in the future for some gold now. Shavaka Yes. Serve directly under him. Oh, you're the new Paddy. Well, my father often turned down these things, but I got plenty of gold. How much? It's a deal, I say. You're my best friend. Let's talk no aggression now. Actually, just a minute. Bring in the armor smith. The reveling and carousing is over for now. Time to get back to real life. See, this is what I wanted. Socializer not only increased diplomacy, but also gives you another chance for successful negotiations. Life is all about enjoying the company of others. You see? I am in need of a protection. Make me a strong, sturdy set of armor. Now it's going to take time to wait, and then it's going to have to wait another time. Because later this November, I will be going to war. War focus, I should say. To not only improve the martial, but also combat skills, and a few other things to improve upon this. Hasn't reached yet. I just realized something. 1, 2, 3, 4. I no longer have the dour trait anymore. I recall when I became gluttonous. Or is it socializer that actually gets rid of dour? That's good. Very good. I told you. I'm committed to being well liked and spend most time in the company of others. Set of armor, I see. Or crapping is something of high quality. There goes my friend. He died a natural death. Even you are qualified to take up that position. But that's reserved for landed pujaris, including the one who has cancer. Thought of another task for you, Father. You can be the court physician as well. Treat yourself and all others as well. No need for this anymore. But you're already a military tutor. Never mind. I was expecting philosophy or something. Unless... Fuck. What do they call these? To be military tutor. Look, let me resign it real quick. Oh, it has the character modifier tutor. Yeah, we're just putting it back. I was thinking, you think I should have not made my father a chancellor? And then make him become a philosophical tutor? I mean, I could have him teach me, but that requires money. I'm getting up to strength now, compared to him. Which means if I were to fight against him, we need to fight in some sort of, guerrilla war in the jungles. After sitting down with the delegation led by Negranta Chovinda Chandra of Jharkhand, it was with relief that I found plenty of common ground with the other side. We were both eager to sign a non-aggression pact. Security above everything else. And let's hope one day, friend, that we'll form an alliance. Which it'll take about a year. I have to start swaying you. I don't know how long you'll be around, but you're gonna have to do for the time. And if my father manages to improve relations with you, then I'll use that favor right now to repay it. And I believe it's about time that I will request military training. It's for combat skills or potentially pick up a trade or two. Or the result of the said training. While casually strolling around the premises, as one often do, I've come across Raja Busara sitting at his desk, the regent. Overburdened with work, I see this a great opportunity to help out and gain a favor in return. But to my surprise, he not only refuses my help, but he has the nerve to insult me for it. Well, good luck with that work of yours, you son of a beeswax. The assistant finally brought me the finished set of armor I've been waiting for. It is beautiful and elegant set of armor, and I'm excited to see it goes beyond my original expectations. Basic set of armor made up of many small metal rings linked together. Martial skill up a bit, and especially the personal combat skill that's now 45, but I'm still undergoing training. I have a lot more to prove. Sister! You've become a leper! Oh my. Oh dear. Can't you treat her, Father? Leprosy is not a good thing to have to anybody. Prove your martial ability. Alright, whatever you want. You're the boss. Even though I'm kind of the boss of you. But you belong to Magad. And to Bihar. which again, we could start it at any time. But it'll take it to Mudagiri, oddly, not Magat proper. Which would make it a strange place. But would that also require them to come along? But I'm really getting up there, thanks to the martial skill. Suede. Power naps. Okay. Different man. Right, now that I have the armor and the money... Did I ever send you a gift? Yes, I did. But I need to get his opinion increased enough till we will repay it. Near Granta Govinda Chandra of Jharkhand has arrived unexpectedly at Lakshmanavati, asking for an audience. I suspect the man intends to convince me to join his glory faction. And indeed, when I met at the gates, he's all smiles and eager to discuss business. What should I tell him? I'll be glad to join his faction. So yes, I'll help you with yours too. More physical improvements. My training in personal combat is causing a positive impact on my health. I'm feeling much better since I started training. The effects are felt but moderate. No need to overexert yourself. Wait. Okay, September 28th. What happens if we set up the next private feast, and then you switch focus by November 1st? Wonder what happens. Because I have an idea. Okay. Hey partner, how about you? And you too. Will it cancel out if I switch focus while setting up a private feast? He'll come, but not him. Okay. Just wait till November 1st. See what happens. $100 karma now. I've been waiting for someone to teach me about warfare for quite some time, and somebody's right to answer my call. Ranjo has stepped forward and to teach me some of his fighting skills and tricks. I'm waiting for his instructions. Good, cannot wait. There, switched war focus. Nope, it hasn't cancelled out, so this will be the last private feast, as I'll be mainly focused on war. Increasing martial, that means increased levy size and more personal combat so I can be better at duels and all that. Speaking of which, would love to get him right now, as I am 21 years old. Yes, more levies will be being raised. Whereas for him, it's a bit reduced since the last time. But I still wait. Offense or defense? That is the question. In a future scenario, during our war with the Alliance to restore the Gupta Kingdom. I will say a solid rock breaks the best steel. My men will be that rock. Because knowing that we're outnumbered, but we have to fight stubbornly to our last breath, compelling his men to do the same while refusing to yield an inch. So up the morale defense and defense, so mainly I'm going to be fighting on the defense. I will be unyielding. It proposed that I should pray that Rama should show me the way. Whether or not his advice are worth listening is up to me. Ignore that advice. Yeah, that definitely helps the income, despite the lack of a smuggler operation. Military reforms. Against the will of the ever-conservative religious authorities, the great Kameshwar, my marshal, has been planning vast changes on the way my troop movements are staged and determined. Better equipment will be assigned to them, a logistics system will be implemented, and if these plans come to fruition, I could expect a significant increase in the military tech of my domains. Martial reforms for faster speed. It's permanent for me, but I'd be spending quite a bit of coin for this. We'd need this new approach. This character's marshal has reformed the military technology of the domains, and now it is time to collect the benefits of such a vision. We can move a lot faster to get in and out of the situation in a future conflict with the Pala. He advanced that the immersion in a group of hardened veterans would let their experience rub onto me. What on this advice is worth listening up to you? No, I don't believe he's shy. I don't think so. Oh, I just noticed that my father has a modest smuggler operation, so it's been on decline for his source of income. I mean, he doesn't make as much money, so he's not living a life as a beggar. He's in actuality a well-to-do, I was about to say well-to-do businessman, but he's actually rather honest about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got it. Whereas I'm no longer dour and I like to meet people. So I'm a far better negotiator now, as I have improved my diplomacy well enough. Even though I'm a bit weary, but still, you'll be alright. Just continue with your training. And you may never know that Ramagupta may give me a virtue. But now all we have to do is wait for the formal alliance thing. He's my friend. High diplomacy and socializer will definitely make it work. So it says hasn't established in the last year, so you're just gonna have to wait till later this year. Let's get started. We got some cinnamon. Don't forget about that. Presented me strange concoction that would apparently help me. No, thank you. You don't have arbitrary. It's great to spend some time carousing in merry company. While the cups are being refilled, Govinda Chandra brings out a strange board with little decorated pieces, explaining that it's a kind of a strategy game. He assures me that it's a great pastime that combines with copious amounts of drink. Sure, you say. Well, I think you might be better at this. You said you got very good wealth, so let's play it for money. We played for hours. tides of fortune ebbing and flowing as I tried to attack my opponent's positions without opening my defense too much. Eventually I found a critical opening and made a few inspired and aggressive moves and won the game. Hail to the Raja. Alright. Rajaganesha ki Jai. Rajaganesha ki Jai. Which again, I only know it in Hindi. I don't know what is the equivalent in Bengali. So I want a bit of money from him. So now I'm an apprentice board gamer. So that's diplomacy +1. There you go. Keeping it high. All that was fun. We'll never get to do private feasts again. As now I'm putting my focus on training. Since I came to Lakshmanavati, we've never had a shortage of soldiers reinforcing our troops. They know that fame and fortune awaits. So I send a letter to my liege. Even though we're in a bit of an arms race, one would think. I said no. Glory faction is now neutral. The training is over. Even though I've ignored all the things, so I've endured a lot more or less relevant training techniques from my instructor, but in the end it was worth it. I am better prepared for the battles ahead, but I could always improve myself more. Onward to glory. Now I am a trained fighter, so I received training in the art of combat, while no master can hold their own in a fight. But I need more training. With Rajaganesha is already well trained in personal combat, he like to takes his skills to the next level through the experience in the field. Now this one's going to take a lot more time. But my moderate training schedule is not yet complete. Do not worry, old Master Ramagupta. You may be my master in religious affairs, but in the army, well, that's going to be a different story. I'm feeling sorry for you, sister. So I guess that's where you get your wealth from. The local resource that you hold there. Oh, big in the court, Governor Chandra, a good opinion. You know you are my friend. So we're allowed to have this little meeting. I mean, we don't like our liege, but remain neutral on this one. But I sometimes wish you could help me, you know, join a faction, but I don't have a favor. You're councilman, right? No, you're not. And you're not a councilman, but you are its commander. It does not say anything about buying a favor. I never got a favor from him. Patience, young Rajaganesha. But doesn't have anything to do with form alliance if I were to tell him with the other stuff. No, it doesn't say anything. Let's talk with him. I arranged the audience with Nigranta Govinda Chandra of Jharkhand of Rajrapa to discuss business of the Glory faction. With any luck, this will lead to a greater understanding between the two of you, provided that no misunderstandings get in the way. Let's hope things go well. Glad a disease hasn't come here. I've arrived at Rajrapa and am greeted pleasantly enough, though during the dinner with the Nigranta, he could tell that he is suspicious of my reason for the visit, and sure enough, the discussion seemed to go nowhere. The trip, it seems, was pretty much a waste. No results. Okay. Just a little friendly visit between two friends of the same faction. All I need is him to get a higher opinion towards me, to the point where it'll be easier to repay a favor. Force someone to join factions I lead. If only I had a favor on this man, but it'd be hard. Oh, here it is. Form alliance. Again. It's partly on the opinion of Nirgrantha of Jharkhand has of me. My diplomacy, being gregarious, and being a socializer. There are many other modifiers at work, however, and be presented with a menu that I can pick during a strategy we want to pursue during the negotiations, with further information on factors that influence the final income. Do it. The summit. Yes, I'm here again, Nirgrantha. The day has arrived for the diplomatic meeting with the Nirgrantha Govinda Chandra of Jharkhand and his entourage. After the necessary pleasantries, we sit down and start the summit. I was informed by my spies that my interlocutors are particularly susceptible to a nice and pleasant approach. I was going to go for that because, well, I'm basically up there. So I have a chance of getting a moderate success thanks to the works of my spies. So again, read this whole thing. This option has a slight disadvantageous base of chance success. If you pick it concerning your details, this is what influences the result of the meeting. I have no alliances. I don't have no diplomacy education, but my diplomacy stat, yes, up. Socializer. I'm not cheerful, and I'm not silver-tongued. Not yet, at least. Successfully reported by my spies. Another positive. Concerning the factor's opinion towards me, he's my friend. Are you kind? Actually, no, you're objectively a bad person, but still. And he's not cheerful. Distance between us, we don't live that far. Difference in tier, we're both the same tier. Yes, both the same tier. Long distance produces negative, short distance are positive. That's another. If he's not a higher tier, then there's a bonus, but on the contrary grants penalty. Finally, a bigger number of alliances, the more conflicts of interest that he might have, thus creating another penalty for success of the action. I will adopt a friendly, intimate attitude between us two friends. I couldn't befriend a Greek, but at least I could befriend somebody who speaks the same language. And then we hope one day we'll repay the favor and get an alliance out of you too. We shall hear it in at least in a month or so. And I need more military training. And I'll get personally involved to get some money. And did. May want to save that money. What is this? He gave away the title. The Raj of Tirabhukti. I guess the region did it. Again, adopt a friendly approach. That's the way to do it. We've been in a feast together. We had cinnamon. I mean, this is an offer that there's no way you can not refuse. I've heard about other races with one eyes, or three. They live in the far corners of the world in savage and barbaric lands. I lost a cynical trait. I forgot about that. I could get it back if I want to, but I'll just say, why do we have two eyes now that I think about it? Curious. Just turned 22. My moodiness and tendency to lash out at people is getting worse. I sleep too little and I can't seem to stop worrying. It's a lot of pressure. Yeah, that's no good. But don't worry, just eat your cinnamon. It's healthy that way. You'll be alright. It's just anxiety, that's all. Successful summit. The diplomatic negotiations went very well. It soon became apparent that a good deal could be made. I left the meeting in good spirits and looking forward to future collaboration with the Neogranta. The deal is sealed. The duration of the alliance is influenced by diplomacy stat. The base value is 5 years, but can be positively modified by a high diplomacy stat, which not high enough, but he'll get around. So it's settled then. Let's make this an attempt right now. We can do it with him, but use that favor. I need to now decide what type of service I want Bhikkhu Bhagavadra of Gaya to perform. I can ask him to further my piety, prestige, or if he is landed and not allied with me, I can ask for an alliance. Success is not guaranteed. Depends on my number of virtues, which I have at least 2. That's for starters. Not just, nor am I honest. Don't have any sins, I'm not deceitful, not arbitrary. All influence that decision, but also the opinion of him towards me is alright in my book, but at least give it a try. Huh? Who asks? A favor from you. Even though you're just a lowly vassal and not a... You run the Vera, not the whole monastery of Gaia, like you. But shouldn't say no to it. Could be useful. I think inviting the Bhikkhu to an activity we could do together will help us grow closer. But I'm not entirely sure what kind of activity I should suggest while I still await word from him. I shall invite him to a banquet. Okay, sure, it's a deal. I'll give it to you. If it even works. New strategic partnership. The Bhikkhu guys saw the merits of my request and decided to accept to establish an alliance with me. Together we stand. And we have an alliance for 10 years. Alright. So what happens if we were to claim Bihar? I mean, none of them would join, but what I need is, some to join the factions. Which is kind of hard to do. But then again, I hope you two will join the future Kingdom of Bihar when it will be restored. Yes, we formed 2 negotiated alliances, but however, I think we may have to look for another source for, you know. Can it be possible that if I were to start a war against them, and then it's possible to call the others into my war, even though it would be a direct revolt, and that would be against them too, unfortunately. But still, that's something that needs to be thought of. Well, we have to look for other sources for possible alliance for foreign intervention. Either from there, or even Nepal. Which we didn't even get a good look at it. As I am still unmarried. My sister's a leper. Which is rather unfortunate, so that makes her very unattractive for anybody that proposes alliance. Time's running out. because he's going to keep growing more and more of the troops the older he gets. But I believe the time is right. I want to become a skilled fighter, which not only I'll get it through the usual training, but I'm starting to get stressed, so he's getting older. But you know what? I think the time will be right. In the next episode, I mean, it's not exactly the alliance to form the restoration of the Gupta Kingdom, but if they can't join, then I'll do it myself. In fact, in the next episode, we'll have to present an ultimatum to him. If he refuses, it's wartime. For Bihar. For all of us here. This is going to be the war to restore the Gupta Kingdom, in which Ramagupta will sit on that old Gupta throne. And if he lives a few more years, I'll be sure to attend to his coronation ceremony, which it'll be a great honor. And it'll be a much greater honor that I will be one of his commanders of a new Gupta Kingdom. Yes, I can see that, but the stress, however, hope it alleviates. For you're my only friend, and we hope you'll join with us. And we hope you viewers join us for this next episode, and it's going to be a critical time for us. But until then, so long for now.